Hi, everyone. I'm being joined by Representative Adam Schiff, who has a very important announcement to make that is going to impact our community. So instead of keeping you waiting, I'll just hand it over to Representative Schiff. Congressman?
Thank you so much. Well, I'm very pleased to announce that we have been able to obtain $950,000 in the appropriations bill for the Armenian-American Museum and Cultural Center. It still has a lengthy path to go. We expect it to be taken up in committee as soon as tomorrow and pass the House in July, so within the next couple of weeks. We need to come to agreement with the Senate on our overall budget, but if we're able to do so, and I hope and believe we can, then the museum will be able to obtain these funds. And we've been seeking them for quite some time, but this is the time when the appropriation process in Congress is getting underway. And it's a wonderful bit of good news to share after the ribbon cutting the other day.
It was a great event the other day, and you certainly pledged in your remarks that you would be seeking federal funding. Now, when you're after the process, and when will the museum actually be able to have those funds?
Well, ideally, the process would be concluded this year. That is, we'll get our bill passed in the House in July. The Senate is moving much more slowly, but sometimes what happens is the Senate doesn't even take up its own appropriation bill. We just pre-negotiate what the final package looks like, and then we take that up anew in both houses. That has to happen by a certain time in the fall, or the government shuts down. Now, there's no appetite for a shutdown, so I don't think that's going to happen. But sometimes if the House and Senate can't agree, or the parties can't agree, then they pass what's called a continuing resolution, which means we just fund the government at last year's level. Well, the museum didn't have any funding last year, so we don't want that result. But if things go well and we get the bill passed by the end of the year, then the museum could see that funding as soon as early next year.
And what can the community do to help in this process? Is there some kind of grassroots activity that voters can do to ensure that this is part of the appropriations package?
I think what would be most helpful is for people to reach out to our US senators and urge them to include the same funding in the Senate. And that way, when there's a negotiation between the two houses, there's a mutual agreement. And I would imagine that both of our senators will be very supportive. So it shouldn't be a tough sell, but the more people hear from their constituents, the better. So that would be helpful. And then just encouraging both House and Senate to get to a common agreement so that we can get this bill passed.
Both of us were at the event on Sunday, and certainly it's a great thing to have this institution in the heart of Glendale, and it has received local, county, and state funding. This is a first step. Do you think there will be more funding coming in years to come?
It's hard to say. As I was mentioning to Berge, who has been such a leader in helping to put this together, the account out of which museum funding comes from in the federal government is one of the smallest and oversubscribed funds. So it's very difficult to get funding for museums. The need is just too great. So I don't know whether we'll be able to strike lightning more than once. The reason I was hesitant at the ceremony when I made the announcement about seeking this funding is I knew how difficult it would be to get it, and I wasn't sure that we could. So I don't want to overpromise. I'd rather underpromise and overdeliver. But really thrilled with our success this year, and we just got to make sure now we get it through the rest of the process.
Congressman, I think this is great, and I think the community will rally behind and follow your advice on contacting senators to ensure this funding. This is something that we have been working for as a community for several years now, and it's coming to fruition. And thank you for bringing this to the federal level and to the attention of the folks in Washington. I know you're busy today. I'm gonna end our conversation right now. If you have something to add, that'll be great, but we will have to catch up on other important issues in the coming weeks. I look forward to that.
Well, I do too, and I'm just really thrilled to see the progress of the Museum and Cultural Center. This is going to be a destination for people from around the country and around the world. I'm very proud that it will be in the heart of Glendale, in the heart of my congressional district, and will help tell the story of the Armenian-American community's rich contributions to our society. So really excited to see the project moving forward.
Thank you, Congressman. Have a great day.
You too. Thank you, Ara.
Bye-bye.